In this video, we're going to look at removing leading and trailing spaces from a text value. When I'm talking about spaces, I'm not talking about the spaces between these words, okay, where you've got pref, RPG game, because they are supposed to be there. What I am talking about though is spaces that might appear by accident before or after a particular single word. So looking at the gender column, you can see that, or you should be able to see that if you look at the female value in the second cell, if I double click that, you can see, if I highlight at the top here in the formula bar, okay, you can see that in front of the word female there is a space. Okay, in the same way as if I double click this male and I highlight back here, I have a space after male. So you'll be thinking, well, what's the problem with that? That's not a big issue. Well, it is, because if you're starting to use those values in calculations, if you're going to count, for example, the number of males in this column, it would only count the males that didn't have spaces before and after them. So the easiest way to demonstrate that is to show you an example. So if I click on this sheet 1, you can see here that I have 6 values, 3 males, 3 females. And I've done a count formula, which you will be doing something similar later on, okay, that counts the number of values for M and the number of values for F. So this one counts the numbers for M and this one counts the numbers for F. But when you look at the values, I've got 3 males, but it's only counted 2 of them, and I've got 3 females and it's only counted 1 of them. So if I come down to this third male here, you can see that there's a space after the M, and that's the reason why that is not being counted. So if I get rid of that space and I press enter, watch what happens to the number of males. That now counts the correct number. So I've obviously got some problems with the females as well. So if I double click this one, that one's fine. This one has a space in front, okay, so you can see if I highlight the space there, that's a space in front. I'm going to delete that space, I press enter, the count's now gone up to 2, and I think I must have a space after the female there. Okay, get rid of that, and now I've got all the counts correct. So that's not so bad, but when you've got a massive column like this with 100 values, you don't want to be going through each of these values individually to look for spaces. So we use a function called trim, and what trim does, it checks a text value in a cell and it checks to see if there's a space before or after, or both, the text value, and if there is, it will trim that value down. So I'm going to show you that function. So equals trim, open a bracket, and I'm going to select the value in the gender cell, close the bracket, I'm going to press enter. Okay, now that's now trimmed the leading and trailing spaces off that value. So I'm just going to highlight, I'm going to click, and I'm going to use the tool to replicate the formula, and I'm going to copy this all the way down. Okay, that's now replicated the formula all the way down, and that is now trimmed. If you look at the female value, it's now trimmed the space before female. So that's how you use the trim function to remove leading and trailing spaces.